Bret, I have this crazy chart that I need to show you. Look at this chart of factory construction spending over the last 10 years. You look at it, and once the data hits 2022, the green part of the chart just explodes. You know what that's from? Factory spending for chip makers and electric vehicles. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. And you can see the effect that the CHIPS Act did have on companies to bring manufacturing back to the US. And this big reshoring effort we're seeing for companies to secure their supply chains and really bring their manufacturing back home.
It's got to be the CHIPS Act, like you said, but also could it have been COVID? COVID just breaking everything and causing companies to go back to the drawing board because we just couldn't rely on supply chains anymore?
That's definitely a big factor behind it, I think, as well. Go back a couple of years, COVID was already a few years ago, but think of the disruption that created in the supply chain. Companies were dealing with manufacturing headaches all over the world. Shipping lanes were shut down or having issues on their own. And it really forced a lot of these companies to go back and think about protecting their supply chains a little bit more and how their products get in their customers' hands. You could think of COVID as a one-off incident, perhaps, but on the other hand, there's a lot of tension around the world, whether that's in Asia or the Middle East. And I think that's also just serves as a reminder to companies that, hey, maybe we want to protect these supply chains a little bit more, bring them closer to home.
Yeah, and that seems to be what's happening. That's all well and good, but what's the big takeaway for investors here?
A lot of the manufacturing you're seeing right now is in the tech industry, whether that's semiconductors, electric vehicle producers. At the same time, though, it has a big trickle-down effect. It's not just one sector, one industry that's feeling it. Think of all the companies that are needed to produce a new factory or a new manufacturing facility. It's everything from transports to industrials, materials, really just naming a lot of names in the cyclical space.
Yeah, and lawyers. Lawyers like to get their noses up in everything.
Yes, they do.
If you want to read more about this theme and other themes I think could change the world in 2024, check out the eToro Investors Almanac at etoro.tw/2024 Almanac.